As I stepped cautiously into the clearing, I gasped in wonder at the sight before me. The fairy garden was a place of beauty and enchantment, full of vibrant colors and lush greenery. Sunlight filtered through the trees, casting a shimmering light on the delicate flowers that lined the path. I could hear the gentle sound of a bubbling stream and the chirping of birds in the distance. Everywhere I looked, I could see something new and exciting, and I knew that I had stumbled upon a magical place. The entrance to the fairy garden was like nothing I had ever seen before. As I approached, a path of glowing pebbles lit up before me, leading to a large archway made of intertwining branches and vines. The arch was adorned with beautiful wildflowers, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of honeysuckle. A soft, warm light emanated from within, beckoning me to enter. I felt a sense of wonder and awe as I stepped closer, ready to cross the threshold and explore the magical world beyond. I listened intently as the elves began to tell me their stories. From tales of brave knights and magical creatures to stories of adventure and friendship, the elves had a wealth of knowledge to share. I was mesmerized by the way they weaved their words together and captivated by the vivid descriptions of faraway lands. I felt as if I were right there in the middle of the action, experiencing it all for myself. As I listened, I felt my heart fill with joy and my imagination soar. I was so grateful to have the chance to hear these stories and be part of this magical world. As I reluctantly said my goodbyes to the magical glade, I felt a deep sadness in my heart. I had grown so fond of the creatures that resided there, and I was sad to leave. I knew I would never forget the memories I had made in the glade, or the lessons I had learned. I said a silent prayer of thanks to the fairy folk, fireflies, and elves that had welcomed me into their world and shared their stories with me. I left the glade with a heavy heart, but with a newfound appreciation for the beauty and magic of the natural world. Crossing the threshold of the fairy garden was an intimidating experience. The entrance was surrounded by tall trees and lush vegetation, but the path that led into the garden itself was narrow and winding. As I stepped over the threshold, I could feel a strange energy in the air, and the further I walked, the more I felt like I was being watched. I could feel a presence in the garden, and I knew that I was about to meet the guardian of this magical place. As I stepped through the entrance of the fairy garden, I was met with a stern figure. Standing tall and proud, the guardian of the garden blocked my way. He had a stern face and a sharp gaze, and I could feel the power radiating off of him. He seemed to size me up before he spoke, his voice booming and demanding. He asked me what I wanted and why I had come. I nervously explained my mission, and he nodded slowly before stepping aside and allowing me passage. The narrator stepped into the magical garden, filled with a sense of anticipation and awe. As they looked around, they noticed a glimmering path that seemed to lead to the center of the garden. The path was made of sparkling stones that glinted in the light, and the narrator could feel a strange emanating from them. As they stepped closer, they realized that the stones were actually pieces of precious gems, each one radiating a unique energy. The path seemed to be leading them to a special place, and the narrator felt a thrill of excitement as they began to follow it. As I continued to explore the glimmering path, I was met with a stunning array of vibrant blooms. Every corner of the path was adorned with a kaleidoscope of colors, from the deep purples of the violets to the bright oranges of the marigolds. The flowers seemed to come alive in the warm sunlight, swaying in the gentle breeze. I was mesmerized by their beauty, and I stopped to take in the sight. The array of colors, shapes, and sizes was simply breathtaking, and I was captivated by the sheer beauty of the blooms. After admiring the colorful blooms, I continued my journey by walking along the riverbank. The sun was setting, and the sky was painted with shades of pink and orange. The sound of the river flowing was calming, and the birds singing in the trees provided a peaceful atmosphere. I took my time and enjoyed the beauty of nature, feeling the serenity of the moment. As I walked, I noticed a few fish swimming in the river and the occasional frog hopping along the bank. I felt a sense of connection and appreciation for the natural world around me. The beauty of the riverbank was captivating, and I was grateful for the opportunity to experience it. I could feel the bark of the trees as I slowly ascended each branch. The leaves were a lush green, and the sun shone through the canopy, providing a warm embrace. As I reached the top, I was rewarded with a breathtaking view of the surrounding landscape. I felt a sense of accomplishment and a newfound appreciation for the beauty of nature. With the wind in my hair and the birds singing in the background, I was overwhelmed with a sense of joy and peace. Climbing the towering trees was an unforgettable experience. As the narrator continued along the glimmering path, they were suddenly greeted by a group of tiny, fairy-like creatures. These were the fairy folk, and they welcomed the narrator with open arms. The narrator was taken aback by their kindness, and they felt a deep connection to the magical beings. The fairies invited the narrator to join them in a special celebration, and they eagerly accepted. The narrator was amazed by the fairy folk's hospitality, and was filled with joy at the thought of spending time with them. They were about to embark on a journey they would never forget. After greeting the fairy folk, I was mesmerized by the twinkling fireflies in the glade. I ran around trying to catch them, feeling the warmth of the summer night on my skin. I was in awe of the beauty of the fireflies, their wings glowing in the dark. I watched as they flew around me, their tiny bodies lighting up the night sky. I felt as if I was in a dream, playing with these magical creatures. I laughed and smiled as I chased them, feeling the joy of the moment. I was in a state of pure bliss, and I felt as if I could stay in this moment forever.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.